Hi guys, you already know my name is Ha Phương, and today I will tell you about the electric power. Let me tell you about the information about electric power. Now, first, I want to tell you about the history of electricity. And wait me a minute, please. Okay. And before the Industry Revolution, humans did not have electricity, right? In the Stone Age, I already tell you about that. People need to use fire to cooking, to away their animals, and get them warm. And there was no factory, no automatic machines, no advanced technologies. Society was based around agriculture. And that time they don't have electricity. And people use fire and gas for lighting and did most of their work with their own hands and used the strength of animals like horse, buffalo, or cow. The Industry Revolution brought the steam engine and the use of gas. By the 1816, there was already many factories run by steam power, but there was still no electricity in factories or home. At this time, one invention was appeared. It's the kerosene lamps was the most common in home. And now you can look up the table, and your mom and your dad always visit it every day, and you can see this light on the table that. But you see this creepy fish. I was very scared of them. But this is the electric fish. Humans knew about electricity in ancient times because many people were shocked by the electric fish. You can read the 2 billion kilometers of the sea, and it talk about this electric fish. In the Industrial Revolution, many engineers and scientists began to researching about how to generate electricity and use it as source of power. And this electric fish is the important things how to do the electricity we use today. From the 1880s onwards, electric power grew into the most important industry in many countries across the world. But some country is poor, like Vietnam at that time. They don't have money to buy the electricity. The birth of the energy industry. Electricity has become so very important that almost everything we use today is dependent on electric power. Like this light bulb on my computer is used by electricity too. To generate electric power, people need to use different fuels such as coal, natural gas, oil, and they are wind, solar panels, or heat. They are the renewable and non-renewable energy. This gave birth to different types of power plants in the world today. Next, what is the problem of using the electricity we use today? The first problem is global warming. Global warming is appear in Earth now and is very dangerous for our Earth and people too. Many power plants use traditional fossil fuels. Burning fossil fuels like coal and oil creates a lot of CO2, as we learned in the lesson. Maybe you can learn in class now. And the coal is very bad for environment. You know, it's the non-renewable resource. Today, the electric power. Wait. The electric power industry is the primary cause of global warming. Next, the second problem is natural disaster. Hurricane, tornado, tsunamis, and thunderstorm is about the natural disaster. Burning fossil fuels for electric power also contributes directly to flooding, acid rain, and forest fire. And now, the Amazon forest is on the fire. The lungs of the earth is fire, and we cannot do anything. But electric power is transmitted by power lines. Many of these power lines are built near forest or mountain areas. It can cause disaster if they have an accident, so it is very dangerous, right? What are the problems next? The third problem is CO2 overload. You can believe that when our earth is always have CO2 and you don't have oxygen to breathe, and how you can think about when we don't have oxygen, when we can change it on earth, and why we don't do now to change the earth and make the more green and fresh and clean earth. Next. What did the governments need to do? Signed 2015, it's soon now. European countries have committed to fighting global warming by reducing fossil fuels for electric power and using renewable energy for electricity. We use now. But we need to use like solar energy, wind energy to help less global warming. But they have some problem too. Now let's start with the wind turbine. Everyone know the wind turbine, right? In the Netherlands, it is very famous on the wind turbine. Wind turbines are still very expensive technology for many countries afford. Also, cities need electric power the most, but wind turbines cannot be built near city for two reasons. They cause heavy noise pollution. Second, there's very little wind in big cities compared to coastal areas or mountains. Like in Vietnam, in the mountains they can have many winds, but in the cities I live now, it's not really have many winds. So the wind turbine is not really good for the environment and good for many people too. Next is the hydroelectric power. The light bulb and the electric we use now is a hydro power. Hydroelectric power can change water flows in many regions, and it will have a dam, and the water will go through the dam and make the force to make the electricity. They need good location and cannot build in country with no rivers or lake. Also, if it's drought and you don't have any water in some place, in Vietnam too, and the power plants cannot work. So it is a big question for us now. Next is the solar energy. Everyone think the solar energy is good, the best renewable energy now, but no, the solar energy has many problems. First is the waste electricity. Today, a lot of electricity generated by solar panels in waste for nothing. This is because in sunny regions, solar panels generate more electricity than people's demand, and people don't know how to keep or can't keep the leftover amount. My family friends has the solar panels, but it is very easy to break. And the solar energy is really expensive too. Some some house is rich. Maybe they can buy it, but my family no. Next is the batteries pollutions. In some cases, excessive solar energy is stored in batteries. The problem is batteries are still made with material toxic to the environment, and batteries come from factories which produce a lot of pollution. Batteries also have short life cycles, usually a few years. The next is about the instant use. Solar energy has to be used right in the right way. If you use the wrong way, maybe it's very bad for the environment. If you don't use solar energy during the day, they need to find a way to store that energy in batteries to use at night after work, which brings us back to issues with battery pollution and battery life. So their solar energy is bad too. And the weather. In tropical regions with a lot of rain and storms, solar panels and solar battery can't work much. They are dependent on sunlight in clear skies. Yeah, sometimes if today is a cold day or we don't have sunny days, we cannot use the solar energy. So if you don't use the hydroelectric power, maybe you cannot be like this. Next is the cost. Building even just one solar farm can cost billions of dollars. It's very expensive. It is impossible for many countries today. So very less people to have their solar energy in the house. And there's a difference between stop using fossil fuels for electricity in family and stop using them factories. For example, one country uses solar energy for homes but still use coal and oil for manufacturing, then export manufactured products to other countries. So if one country is pollution, maybe they can affect to another country too. Like the one, I don't remember the name of the China. If the people in China don't change, maybe Vietnam or Cambodia can affect the pollution too. And the last one is why traditional electric power is still used. So I just tell you that the renewable energy, right? It have many problems too. So if we don't use the hydroelectric power plants, you cannot have another choice. Now it's a big question for people on the earth. Electric power grids have been built for many years. It is very difficult to replace them. Even developed countries like US or Germany are still dependent on traditional power lines, meaning they still need traditional power plants that use fossil fuels to meet the demands of... Ôi dài quá. Yeah.
Okay, I found this on the web for they still need power plants that use fossil fuels. Check it out.
Sorry, it's something I think is stop, but I will continue now. The demands of the economies and social deals. Okay, it's the end about the electric power I want to tell you today. And every day we think is the renewable energy is good, but it has many problems too. The most is solar energy. And thank you for listening. Goodbye.